It does, yeah.
Oh, it makes you feel terribly insignificant and as if our problems don't really matter. It'll all be the same in a million years.
Perhaps no longer an omen of fate, the lunar eclipse has still had many pausing, if only for a moment, to contemplate their place in the grand scheme of things. George Eakin, BBC News.
Well, back here on Earth, it's 10:25. I'll be back a little later with the latest on the day's headlines, but now the news where you are.
Good evening from Points West. On his visit to Bristol today, Prime Minister Tony Blair was not only pelted with tomatoes, he was picketed by protesting farmers and parents. Experts were saying it was the informal start to his election campaign. But why Bristol, and did he get what he was hoping for? Our political editor, Paul Cannon, reports.
2001, a political odyssey. It started in Bristol with a tomato. Others on the street wanted to blow raspberries at the Prime Minister. These farmers used a powerful symbol to show they hold him responsible for the deaths of comrades driven to suicide by the farming crisis.
This is for the 6 deaths that have taken place in the last 6 weeks in our industry through suicide.
These parents blame the government for a local plan to close their school.
Come have lunch at our school, see our little children, see the unhappy faces of them.
What would you ask him?
If he would keep it open, for their sakes, the babies.
Mr. Blair wanted to talk about education, but on his own terms. The City of Bristol College just opened, and the sort of achievement an electioneering government would want to celebrate at the right time and the right place for key messages.
So the purpose of the money that we put forward for this in partnership with the private sector and others is to put a huge investment into the skills base and the education base of the country. And if we want to succeed, if Britain wants to be a real power, economic powerhouse in the 21st century, we have to make the investment in people.
Many of these students wanted to see the PM, but were cleared away, leaving only those who had been handpicked. The college said they were representative. Disappointed students disagreed.
It's just how it goes nowadays. It's a great pity because there's a lot of things that do need to be said that aren't being brought up. I mean, my concern especially with the environment.
When people generally come to the college, I've been picked to speak to them before because I'm a tutorette. I've done open evenings and stuff, showing people around. I can be the model student if that's required.
The Conservatives had mounted a poster on a lorry nearby. Where are the police, it asked. The police were trying to keep order as the Prime Minister moved to the Council House. This was also by invitation only, but the question and answer session was no easy ride. Why here and why today? Well, if you boil down the national political scene at the moment, you get the West Country. Labour have the most seats, the Conservatives have been pushed a long way back in what used to be their heartland, and the Lib Dems, they're gaining the Conservatives. It's as good a place as any to start and finish an election campaign because it is a map in miniature of the battleground. Paul Cannon, BBC, Points West, Central Bristol.
A man accused of a violent racist attack in Bristol admitted to the police he knew his victim ran a race relations agency in the city. Vacher was beaten up in full view of his family by Mark Vaughan, but he denies the assault was racially motivated.
Vacher arrived at the court today to face the man accused of the attack that put him in hospital. The court heard how Mr. Pandya, the director of SARI, Support Against Racist Incidents, was attacked in Chester Street, Easton, after dropping off a family friend. Mark Vaughan, who's from Henbury, has admitted assaulting Vacher in September 1999, but he denied the attack was racially motivated. Prosecuting Simon Morgan described how Vacher was kicked and punched to the ground by the defendant and a second unknown man, amid offensive racial chanting. Mr. Pandya said he was totally surprised by the unprovoked assault, which left him in fear and shock. Mr. Vaughan's defence said that Mr. Pandya had made up the claims of racial abuse because of his position in the community. Mr. Pandya rejected this. Giving evidence, Mr. Pandya's wife, Devi, said she saw her husband lying on the pavement being kicked by a white man. His daughter, Maria, told the court, "I thought they were going to kill my dad. He wouldn't survive." The jury were told that when Mark Vaughan was interviewed by the police, he admitted he knew his victim's identity. He said in a statement, "I've seen him on TV. He's anti-white. He doesn't have a good thing to say about us." Mark Vaughan pleaded guilty to assault causing actual bodily harm. but he denies racially aggravated assault and another charge of affray. The trial continues. Steve Brody, BBC Points West, at Bristol Crown Court.
A guard at the Social Security office in Trowbridge has been stabbed by a person with a hypodermic needle. 41-year-old David Smith was called to the staff entrance to prevent a person getting in and was stabbed in the chest during a scuffle. He was taken to hospital for treatment. Police are investigating but currently have no description of the attacker. 200 elderly people in the Bath area have been told the future of their council-run care homes is under review. All 8 of the buildings run by Bath and North East Somerset Council need improvements, and the council's worried it may not be able to foot the bill. One option is to hand the homes onto the private sector. A third specialist heart unit could soon be built in the West, following concerns that the present hospitals aren't able to treat sufficient patients quickly enough. The move comes after warnings from a Bristol heart surgeon that some people may have died because they had to wait too long for operations. Bristol Rovers are through to the 3rd round of the LDV Vans Trophy after beating Plymouth at the Memorial Stadium. It's the first game Rovers have had for 2 weeks, and they made the most of it, winning 3-0.
At last a home victory for Rovers as their Latvian international Vitalis Astavies fired them ahead with a dipping shot after 8 minutes. But it wasn't until late in the second half that Rovers extended their lead. Again Astavies lashing home an unstoppable shot from the edge of the area. Then 3 minutes from time, Michael Miko was brought down in the box and Mickey Evans scored from the penalty spot to make it 3-0 on the night.
Finally, Swindon have won their second round match away to Millwall after a dramatic penalty shootout. The score was 0-0 after normal time and the same after extra time, but Swindon came through 3-2 on penalties just a few moments ago. Well, that's all from the Points West newsroom tonight. Back now to Michael Burke. From us, good evening.
And the main news again tonight. The government's backed down over medical tests for troops who served in the Balkans. They'll be offered screening for contamination from NATO's depleted uranium shells. The Prime Minister's promised Britain's biggest ever investment in schools, hospitals and transport. And Sven-Göran Eriksson, England's new football coach, has left Lazio early. Newsnight starting now over on BBC Two.